that will save our planet. I would now like to invite Mr. M.R. Chandran, Advisor to the Executive Board of the Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil, to address us on agriculture, commodities and sustainability.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests. First of all, my thanks to Natasha for her invitation, and also to Saurabh Roy for allowing me to share my thoughts on a subject which is literally the old economy. Nobody talks about agriculture nowadays, because it's not fashionable to do so. But then, without agriculture, there is no food. And without food, you can't exist. So it's simple as that. I'm not going to talk about any specific commodity, although some of you have asked me questions on palm oil. But I thought, in view of the participants here, the varied type of participants here, I just thought I will give you an oversight of where agriculture and sustainability is linked. Let's go to the extended. That's it. Okay. Thank you. Let me start off with the changing global scenario. I think one needs to understand, unless there is change at the top level, unless there is a change in the economy that we have been used to, we are not going to make progress. Let's look at the old model that we have had, the Western economic model. Now, this free market capitalist economy is now over, thanks to the collapse of the banks. Why? Because it has failed to provide the solutions to climate change and global warming, environmental sustainability, energy and water security, maternal health care, one of the Millennium Development Goals, primary education, rising unemployment, national, international security issues. So the demise of the popular but unsustainable business model now seems inevitable. Why? The old model has failed to eradicate the greatest challenge that we face. And what is that? Extreme poverty. Mahatma Gandhi once said, the pollution of poverty is the deadliest form of violence. And that is what we are seeing in the troubled areas of the world. So we need a new model that focuses on low carbon growth. You have heard that from other speakers, and provides green jobs, creating a recovery through innovation-led economy. When we talk about low carbon future, just remember this: Mother Nature doesn't do bailouts. Only governments do bailouts. I was fortunate to be on a panel with Dr. Nicholas Stern, the former British Secretary, who came up with the Stern Report in Hong Kong at the Climate and Carbon Conference in 2008. And this is what he said: the risk of inaction over climate change far outweigh the turmoil of the global financial crisis. So he said, we need to bring about a new, greener, carbon-reducing world order. Message: boost demand by focusing on low carbon growth in future. But look at the stimulus packages that has been given by countries all around the world. You study those stimulus packages and you find only two countries, China and South Korea, which has addressed more than 50% of their stimulus package on low carbon growth. Looking at green technologies. China and South Korea. Not the United States, not Europe. China and Korea. They have got their act together because they are seeing the future as it should be seen. So sustainability is now the #1 global business challenge. Now, key part of the challenge is the tension between emerging social values and the traditional forms of value creation. So what we need to do is we need to restructure the entire economic model, which wipes away the old way of doing business. It is a catch-23 situation. Now, catch-23 was coined by the Washington insiders way back in 1970s for problems far more complicated than catch-22. Now, what is the catch-23 agenda? Business has 3 dimensions. Economic prosperity, they know something about that. Environmental regeneration, which it does not. Social equity, that always used to be government's responsibility. Now, together, these 3 pillars make up the triple bottom line. The 3 Ps, people, planet, and profit. But remember this, without profit, without creating wealth, you cannot look after the people and the planet. So we go to agriculture and sustainability. This is the total land area of the globe, 13.4 billion hectares. What is capable of supporting agriculture? 4.2 or 31%. What is used today? 1.5 billion hectares. So the question is this, do we let the world go hungry, or do we commit ourselves to sustainable practices so you strike a balance between ecology and economy within the framework of agricultural operations? There are 2 ways of increasing agricultural produce: grains, oilseeds, edibles, etc. 1, you increase the cultivated area, which is environmentally sensitive today, clearing forests, opening up wetlands, or you develop technologies to boost the yields. The famous American scientist Jared Diamond called the invention of agriculture the worst mistake in the human race. Now, even the FAO agrees. Look what they had to say. Yes, we have increased food production, but at a very high environmental cost. And remember this, that trade in food accounts for or is the major cause of climate change. Trade in food. This is the projected world population. Look at it, world 40%, high income only 2% increase, low income 49%. Africa will double their population in 40 years' time. Look at the rest of the countries. Europe, you're seeing a 10% less in population. This is the UN medium projections. And 97% of the increase is going to come from the developed world, less developed worlds. So full demand will double, most of it through trade. This is an OECD report. Whether you look at meat, dairy, cereals, oilseeds, or sugar, the trend is upwards because of higher income levels. But the interesting thing is this, if you want to produce this food by clearing additional land, then you will have to clear 2/3 of the existing forests. And we only have 3 places left in the world: Borneo Island, the Congo, and the Amazonia. This is a very interesting study that was done by IMF. In 1995, there were 5,000 metric ton capacity per day of crushing soybeans in China. In 2008, it was 220